All right, and before we end this bulletin, let's get you some cricket-related updates. Times Network's Karishma is in Melbourne's Kookaburra Sports Factory and spoke exclusively to the director on the innovation of Kookaburra, Nicola. As Kookaburra is in the sporting business for over 100 years now, Nicola talks about the business of Kookaburra and the making of the special cricket balls. Let's take a look.
We are here in Melbourne City where the T20 World Cup final is going to take place at the iconic Melbourne Cricket Ground. And currently I am at the Kookaburra Sport Factory, home of cricket balls in Australia and worldwide. Joining me is Nicola, who is the Director of Innovation at the Kookaburra Sport. Nicola, firstly, thank you so much for speaking to us.
A pleasure.
Tell us what goes on here and why Kookaburra is the home of cricket balls in Australia and worldwide.
Here we manufacture all of the Kookaburra cricket balls from beginning to end, whether they're the cheaper balls or right up to the turf ball that's being used at the moment in the games. And I don't know that there's anybody else in Australia manufacturing cricket balls anymore, which is a shame, but okay.
And Kookaburra does have an Indian connect as well because the turf balls sent for IPL, and I'm holding one right here in my hand, and Nicola of course is going to talk in detail about this as well. Nicola, talk us through the IPL connect, the Indian connect for Kookaburra.
Right, we send a lot of the turf balls to the BCCI for the IPL. They're really special balls. They're our top of the line ball, and they are hand closed. They have a 5-layer cork and wool centre, which no other ball has. And we, of course, think that they are the best ball to be played with.
And you know what's so special about these balls? If you could give us a little more details as to what goes into the making of these balls, and you know what just goes on behind the scenes as well.
Sure, they're absolutely our most labour-intensive product. It takes quite a while to make them. We start off with a tiny cork rubber nucleus, and we layer that up with sheets of cork and with worsted yarn, which is a type of wool. And we finish the ball with 4 pieces of leather that are sewn together using a linen thread, so as much natural material as possible, which is stipulated by the laws of cricket.
And when we look at this factory, it's almost like a kid in a candy store for a cricket lover, because it's just about cricket balls everywhere that we see in this factory. Tell us a little bit about the history of Kookaburra. I'm told you're the 5th generation coming into the family business. So how does that happen?
Right, yeah, that's right. I am the 5th generation. The business is 132 years old. It was started in 1890 as a saddle making business, but with the introduction of cars, saddles weren't needed so much anymore, and cricket balls were a skill that we had, and so that's what we focused on. I'm the 5th generation. There are still generation members in the business as well, and 3rd generation members still involved with the business, which is absolutely lovely. And hopefully we continue on for some generations.
And final question, Nicola. Melbourne, of course, known as the sporting capital in the world. It's known for its sporting tourism as well. I'm sure Kookaburra and the T20 World Cup on right now is adding to all that is happening in Melbourne. It is the epicenter of all action at the moment.
It really is, and it's fantastic. After the pandemic and having this burst of energy and burst of visitors, and it's so wonderful to watch the games. And of course, you know, huge Indian contingent. I think you guys might be in with a chance, which would be lovely. But it really is fantastic to see. We are a sport-loving nation, just like India. And so, you know, it's really fantastic that these opportunities have opened back up to us.
All right, with that, it's a wrap from my side, but do stay tuned to Myrna for all the more interesting news and updates. Goodbye.